let's talk about the draft. We are now almost a week away. And last week we did a first segment, NBA draft intel. We're going to do that again this week. It's just a collection of what I'm hearing in the last 7 days and run down some of the news and rumors that could be impacting everyone's mock draft. Let's start with the Atlanta Hawks, the team that has the number 1 pick in the draft. Well, Alex Sarr may be the betting favorite to be the number 1 overall pick, but in the last few days, you're hearing a lot of rumor that it may not be Sarr whose name is picked first. In fact, there's some rumors that Atlanta has cooled on Sarr, preferring players like Zachary Reese-Shea, maybe Donovan Clingan, even Reed Sheppard. But it will be interesting to see exactly what happens there. You're hearing that Sarr's representation may even not favor Atlanta. So exactly where these rumors are coming from, we don't quite yet know, but we do know that there is now a steady diet of intel suggesting that Alex Sarr is not the no-brainer that many people expect for Atlanta. My pick to go number 1 overall in my most recent mock on CBSSports.com is the player you just watched, and that's Zachary Reese-Shea. But I want to make it very clear. We don't know who's going to go number 1 yet. As I said, Atlanta, they're believed to like Reese-Shea. He's worked out there. They're believed to like Clingan. He worked out there. Steph Castle is expected to come in and work out. Reed Sheppard is another one that I'm hearing that they are high on. Modest Buzelis is in to work out. So you've got at least 6 prospects who Atlanta has brought in to work out. They are doing their due diligence on a wide number of players, and that is to be expected for a team that was not anticipating being in this position. Remember, they were the big winners on the draft lottery night. Now they find themselves with the number 1 pick. You also cannot count out the potential for trades. I think there's a lot of scenarios there where they could potentially trade down, especially if Sarr is not the guy that they want. Speaking of the trade rumors, Donovan Clingan is going to be one of the more interesting players to watch in this draft. There are a couple of teams that are being very active trying to trade up to draft the UConn big man. Memphis and Chicago in particular, I am hearing, are making significant attempts to move up to a position where they could draft Clingan. Now, this is interesting because, as we said last week, while Clingan is an option for Atlanta at 1 and he's an option for Washington at 2, there's a variety of places inside the top 7 that are not expected to be potential destinations for him, specifically because they already have their centers of the future. He's not going to go to Houston, where they have Alperen Sengun. He's not going to go to San Antonio, where they have Victor Wembanyama. He's not going to go to Charlotte, where they have Mark Williams, or at least that's what the intel's telling us now. So that puts us in a position where we say, all right, maybe he goes 1, maybe he goes 2, maybe there's a trade, whether Atlanta trades down or Memphis and Chicago trades up, putting them in a position to deal for him. Potentially Houston at 3, that's somebody to watch. But if nothing happens, as I said last week, it is conceivable that he slips all the way to 7, and what a break that would be for Portland to be able to land Donovan Clingan. But again, the intel is right now Chicago and Memphis making very clear attempts to move up in the draft with hopes of taking Clingan, with Houston being a potential trade partner there. That is certainly something to watch. As it relates to Memphis, Memphis is well known to be in the market for a big man. Just said, they are trying to trade up. They would love to get Donovan Clingan, but if they can't trade up, I'm hearing they could be open to trading down. 2 prospects that have reportedly had good workouts for them: Purdue's Zach Edey and Indiana's Kel'el Ware. Now, Indiana's Kel'el Ware has been one of the most polarizing prospects over the years. Remember, he was a 5-star prospect out of high school, went to Oregon, began in the starting lineup, but eventually fell out of the rotation, went into the transfer portal last year, transferred to Indiana, and really played some of his best basketball this season. He ended up putting up great numbers in the tail half of the season, and now you're seeing him start to climb up NBA mock drafts. Now, the intel on Ware is very much the same as it has been since high school. A kind of a high-risk, high-reward proposition. If everything clicks, there just aren't a whole lot of 7-footers who have his tools. You're talking about somebody who can move, he can run, he can jump, he can catch, he's got touch that goes out to the 3-point line. So, supposedly had a good workout in Memphis. They can't trade up for Donovan Clingan. Maybe they trade down and look at Kel'el Ware. Again, Zach Edey, another one who supposedly worked out well in Memphis. So I would expect Memphis to be very active here in the next 8 days, again, exploring opportunities to both trade up or trade down in hopes of maximizing their assets and coming up with their big man of the future. All right, for the latest in the NBA draft intel and my latest mock draft, you can visit cbssports.com. We have everything there. You can also watch the Eye on College Basketball podcast on their YouTube channel for more podcasts and information. all the latest leading up to the draft on June 26th and 27th, where we will have live coverage on CBS Sports HQ and all the CBS properties. Until then, and until next week, remember Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, the day before the draft, we will be live with the next episode of 24/7 College Basketball Show. Until then, thanks very much for watching.